Hello, my name is Kerry from Kerryscardkreations. Welcome and Happy New Year to you all. I hope you all had a really lovely Christmas and New Year. Did you get anything crafty for Christmas? I got some, I don't get much crafty stuff for Christmas. I got lots and lots of beautiful handmade cards. That was fantastic. My husband bought me some watercolour pens. I've not really used watercolour pens much, so I'm going to have a go with those this year. I got some stamps and cutting dies from my friend Nick, and I got a new crochet bag and crochet scissors from my friend Sarah. So that was it, but not that I need anything, I can assure you of that. Anyway, my first tutorial for 2026, we're going to make a lantern. Okay, so I my first class back is Monday, tomorrow. I was looking at what I wanted to do. I saw this picture of this lantern. I couldn't find a tutorial, so I just, well, they're not that difficult to make. So here we go. Okay, so I have done quite a lot because there's a lot of steps to it, and I didn't really want to, because I use my camera sits on my die cutting machine, so I did all that first. Right, piece of coloured card. This measures 29 centimetres by 15 centimetres, and you score it on the long side at 7, 14, 21 and 28 centimetres, and then turn it and score it on the short side at 7 centimetres. Now, I didn't fold and burnish mine. What I then did was I took a shape, so my 1 centimetre section is on my right. My 1 centimetre section is there. I took a die cut shape. In this case, I used this. I've had these for years. I couldn't even tell you where I got these from, but this is the shape I've used. I like a stitched fancy square. And I die cut it from the 2nd and 4th panel. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this back in my scoreboard. And I'm going to redo those score lines. 7, 14, 21 and 28. I'll just make sure I put this the right way around. And 7. It's just because when you run your card for your die cutting machine, it flattens everything, and so the score lines are not quite as prominent as they were before. Right, fold and burnish. So the lighting is not fantastic. It's Sunday morning. It is, what's the time? 25 to 9, and it's really dark and gloomy outside. So I've got my big light on in my craft room, so it gives a bit of a glow. Okie dokie, fold and burnish. Right, now I am going to decorate this section and this section. So I've got 2 pieces of pattern paper. This is a really old paper pad that I got from the range, and it was all bees related. These measure 6.5 by 7.5. It's really difficult to see my score lines. Okay, and then I've got 2 frames. So I took the cutting die that I used to make the aperture and the next size up, die cut them together to make 2 frames. So I'm just going to stick those around. So I'm in the process of sorting my craft room out. Have you seen the video of my craft room? Leading up to Christmas, it always gets so hectic around here because it's so busy and that I don't get a chance to put anything away and stuff, and you've got extra stuff out for Christmas. So I showed you exactly what my craft room looked like before Christmas. I have been, all the Christmas stuff is now packed away, and I've been slowly going through. I've thrown 2 black bags of rubbish away. I've got a box of stuff to donate to this new community group that's opened. They're doing crafting, so I've got a box of stuff for them. Got 2 bags to go to this local charity. Right, so that's that one, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I've got 2 pieces of vellum. Now, when I was tidying my craft room up, I had vellum everywhere, and I had plain stuff and pattern stuff, and this has got like a mottled yellow to it. So I'm just going to run some glue. What side is more prominently coloured? So I'm going to run glue around the outside of the vellum, and I'm just going to put a bit around the outside of that aperture as well. And just stick that over the top like that. I know you can see glue through vellum, but this is inside, so I'm not bothered about that. So I'm just going to do this. One side is more prominent coloured than the other, so I'm just trying to have that more dominant side outermost. So again, I'm just going to run the glue around my aperture. Stick. So now that Christmas is over, what are you crafting for now? Do you do Valentine's? I don't really do much Valentine's. When I had the shop, it was different because you stocked stuff in the shop, but now I don't. And I only send one Valentine's card, and that's to Henry. Right, so that's right, so let's cut it. So my 1 centimetre section is on my right, and then I've got the shorter section. This is 7 centimetres, and this one is 8. That's the one we've been decorating. So I'm going to mitre the top of the 1 centimetre section, and then mitre to the score line there, and then cut that score line away. Cut that score line. Cut that bottom section away. That's my gluing tab. I've got to turn this over because I've got to work the wrong way. And then I'm literally going to, so I'm still on that short bottom section, I'm going to cut up and remove, literally I just cut either side and remove the bump of the score line. It's, look how big it is. So when I was tidying my craft room up, I found my old filming arm, and it's a lot better quality than the one I had before. So my camera's higher now. So I don't feel like I'm squatting underneath my camera trying to film. Right, so that's that. excuse me. Then I'm going to fold the first panel over, add glue to that 1 centimetre section, fold that over, so as well, just to say, if you're new here, hello and welcome. I hope you like it here. I did have quite a few new subscribers pop in over Christmas, so that's really lovely. I do this channel because I enjoy doing it. I'm just a lady that really enjoys crafting, and I love to share what I do with others. So I don't sell anything, I don't promote anything. It's just, yeah, it's just about sharing something that I'm passionate about. So thank you to all my existing subscribers. It's really lovely that you stuck with me, and hello and welcome to the new ones. Right, so my seam is here. This is my seam here, so I'm going to fold that one over. Do I want my seam? Hang on a minute, I've got to think about this. Hang on. So my seam is there. There's my seam. Right, now I'm going to fold that one over. Not that this bit matters, but I like my glue that one and fold that one over. I like my seams towards the back. So then I'm going to glue this one, add glue to that back one. So my seam is still at the back here. Fold that one forward. This is just picky, but I just like all my seams at the back of my project. Bring that one down. Right, now I'm just going to stick my bone folder in there to make sure that that is all stuck down. That's what we've got so far. Okie dokie. Now, I have got a piece of coloured card. This measures 10.8 centimetres by 10.8 centimetres. And you want to score it on all 4 sides at 2 centimetres. Fold and burnish. So let me think. My coloured card I'm using, got glue on all over me now. The coloured card I'm using is from Lime Tree Crafts. So the last bit I've got of that colour now. The pattern paper, like I said, is from the range. I think that's all I'm using, really. I'm using an old stamp and die set. Right, corners. So you've just got these 4 corners. So I'm going to cut up the score line to the score line, cut into that square. And I've removed that score line as well. And then I'm just going to mitre. So I'm just going to cut up that score line. I cut the other side of the score line, so I actually take the score line away, only because you just get a neater edge, because when you score the card, obviously it leaves a bump behind. Yes, so I'm nearly finished my craft room now, and it's not looking much different, but I know it's different, and it's definitely a lot tidier. I think I've got maybe 2 more drawers to sort out, and then I'm done then. Right, so I'm just going to add glue to these 4 tabs. My craft room is never going to be a showroom perfect craft room, because that I like my things on display so that I can see them. I very much am a visual crafter, so I like to see all my pens. I don't like things put away in cupboards and stuff if I can help it. And I'm not one to have everything matchy. I like a little bit. I like the fact that my craft room's different colours. It's matched. It's creativity. Everybody's different, and if you love to have that showroom perfect craft room, that is absolutely fine, but that's not my idea of a craft room. I like the fact that my craft room's a little bit eclectic. It's colourful. Right, so that is the piece that sits inside there like that. Okay, so you need 2 pieces of coloured card. These measure 12 centimetres. I'm saying that and I haven't even turned my instructions over. 12 centimetres by 21 centimetres, and you want to score them on the long side at 8, 10, 18 and 20 centimetres. Turn it and score it on the short side at 2 and 10 centimetres. 2 pieces. Fold and burnish. Now I've done one already to save a bit of time. Yeah, so my craft room is never going to be, it's never going to be spot perfect. It's never going to be all matchy, samey. I love this room. Before this big room, I had a tiny little room that used to look out to a brick wall. So I always think I'm so blessed. I've got such a nice room now. Right. I have got 82821, and then top and bottom is the same. So I'm just going to miter that 1 centimetre section on the end and then cut away that either side. Okay, and then the same with the other boxes. We're just going to miter. I didn't miter that one very well. Those squares. Excuse me, I've got a tickle now. Right, so that's what that should look like. So you should have 2 pieces the same. Then I'm going to decorate. I have got 4 pieces of pattern paper. These measure 1.5 centimetres by 7.5, I believe it is. Yeah, 1.5 by 7.5. And I'm going to glue these around this one here. It's bitter cold in here in Somerset at the moment. Have you had any snow? We have not had snow. I'm sure my husband's due back to work tomorrow, so I'm sure he does not want snow. Because I work from home, so I don't technically have to leave the house. We don't really get snow here in Somerset. You get a dusting of snow and then it's pretty much gone. In fact, I think Henry was a baby in the pushchair the last time we had proper snow here in Somerset. Proper snow where it was so thick that you could barely walk in, and then it gets icy, it gets thick ice underneath. Okay, so this first one I just decorated the outside edges, but this one I'm going to have for the top. So I'm going to decorate this piece here. So I've got a piece of pattern paper. This measures 7.5 by 7.5 centimeters. I'm going to stick that on there. So my question is have you had snow? Have you been lucky enough to have snow? I know some places have had it. Right, so I'm just going to fold that section over, add glue to that 1 centimetre section. Fold that one over. I'm going to just fold that back like that. Give that a push. Okie dokie. I'm going to fold those 2 side pieces in. Add glue to the tabs. Add glue to the inside of that top piece. And fold that one over. And then fold that one back like that. Oh. I'll do the same the other side. Forgot that one. Glue that one. And I'm going to just fold that one over. Fold that over. Fold that one back. Right, so this one is going to be the top. So that piece that you made that looks like a lid, that one gets glued to that one that's got the pattern on in the centre. So I'm just going to add glue to that one. And glue that as best in that centre of that piece as I can. Right, so I'm just going to, while I'm waiting for that, I'm just going to put my stamping block on there. Then this one that we didn't decorate the top of, we're going to glue our lantern to. So I'm just going to add glue to the bottom of my lantern and then stick that one there. In the centre as best as I can get it. I mean, you could decorate the top of that one there, but you wouldn't see much of it, so I didn't think it was worth. And I'm just going to put my other stamping block on the top of there for a minute. So that's the shape you got. That could probably do. Oh, I don't know, it's all right. So I have got these battery tea lights. I got these from my local hardware shop. I think they're flickering ones. Can you see? So I'm going to just slot that in there when I want to put it on. Then this piece slots in like so. So there is your lantern. Now, there is a reason that this is further down the bottom, and that's because when this piece goes in, I don't want you to be able to see. So it does go in, but it catches on the vellum. There we go. I don't want you to be able to see the edge of my square, so that's why I've aimed it more towards the bottom of the lantern. Right, now let's see. I have got, let's do the top first. 2 pieces of card. These measure 2 centimeters by 11 centimeters, and I've scored both pieces on the long side at 2 and 9, I believe. Yeah, 2 and 9. And before I fold and burnish, I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together. This is just to give it a bit of strength, really. Right, so then you want to fold and burnish the score lines. My glue's still a bit wet. And then that centre one, so I've just gently folded those ones. And this centre one, you just want to give it a bit of a curl to it. This is going to make the top of the lantern. Excuse me. So I'm just going to add glue, add glue to those tabs. And then I'm going to stick this as best in the centre as I can get it. There. Oops. Let's try and get it a bit straight, Kerry. Okie dokie. Right, I've got some ribbon. I've got this dark tealy colour. So I'm going to just add this. These are not good cutting ribbon scissors. I've got my hot glue gun next to me here. So I'm just going to pop a piece of glue there. So this is the front of my lantern. Pop a piece there. God, that's not got much glue stick in that. Pop that on there. Go round. I'm just going to put a piece of hot glue on there. And then stick that down. Let me see my other scissors. My sharper scissors have gone from my... That's better. Right, I'm going to do the same with the top. Let's go round. Just pop a piece of glue on there. Okay, now I'm going to make 2 bows. ribbons twisted at the back. There we go. Right, 2 little bows. Right, let's put some glue on there. Put that on there. Let's do a second one for the top. I've got strips of glue everywhere now. It's twisted at the back. Let's get that out of the way. Right, let's pop a bit of glue. And then you could just leave it like that, but I did stamp a bee. Let's see. I thought maybe put that on there. Do I like it on there now I've done it? It's a bit big. I might leave it like that. I quite like it like that. Let's get that. Yeah, I think I might leave it like that. I like it like that. So let's see if I can put my... I'm not going to be able to show you very well because obviously I've got the light on in here. But you might be able to see how it lights up. Don't want that light to move inside. Isn't that pretty? I think that's really pretty. I'm going to make a couple of these to go in my craft room window. So there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today. Any questions, please just ask. So it just catches. You've just got to get it over the top of that vellum inside. Yeah, any questions, just ask. If you could leave me a like, thumbs up, leave me a comment, that would be really lovely. And I'll be back again soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.